So now we filled up our batch machine with our Granny Smith. Now remember, this was a flavor. So rather than the base, we're using a flavor this time. And I want you to kind of see how the water ice is going to come out at the end. This time also what we're doing, we're going to set the viscosity. So we're going to set the viscosity at 23. That's where we kind of took our lemon out and get rolling here. So let's get it started. We're going to put 16 minutes on the clock.
We're still doing water ice, so we're going to keep our RPM set to the highest setting. So start with our dasher. Set our timer.
Let's put 16 minutes on the clock, Alex.
Turn on our compressor and set the timer.
I also think when you're making ice, when you're making Italian ice, and this goes for when you're making ice cream or gelato or whatever you can make, cakes, pies, molds, whatever you want to make in our batch freezer, it's important to have the proper tools. A lot of times what happens is when people are making ice, they miss up the recipe, or they don't do it right, or they forget an ingredient, and it's a lot of times because they're not organized. It's not efficient. Also, we've been working in the design element when we do lay on design with customers. We've been working on them at how can we incorporate the homemade aspect of what you're doing into the store. Like, can we have it where people see you making this product and watch you making this product? Or at the very least, even if it's done in the back, can we video it and show those videos? Because there's tremendous value in a homemade product. Your sales will go up. People care about what they're eating and they're putting in their bodies. So having a homemade, handcrafted product, no matter what category you're doing, is very important. You want to get credit for that. But if you're disorganized, letting people in and see that can look dirty. Clutter can look dirty. So it's very important to have the proper tools. For example, if I'm going to do sugar, this is a very inexpensive, a Rubbermaid container, comes in all different shapes and sizes. It's great for holding sugar. It's got an open lid, very easy. And I don't work for Rubbermaid. I just feel like this holds sugar well. It holds a pound cup, so you can measure your pounds of sugar easily. You want to make sure you have enough buckets everywhere. You want to make sure that your mixing containers, you have one, if your 8 to 16 ounces of stabilizer, you have one for that size. You want to have one for your other ingredients. You want to have one for your larger ingredients. You want to have whisks, spatulas. You want to have all this on hand, and you want to have it in an organized fashion, so when you're doing your daily production, you can maintain the recipes, you have the right tools for the right ingredients, and you can make product easily, smoothly, quickly, efficiently. And if you are going to show it to the customers and let them peek behind that window, it looks clean and it looks efficient. Right now we're about 4 minutes left. As you can see, we're on our set viscosity at 23. Even during the batch, if you want to view where your viscosity is actually reading, you can go to actual. So you see we're at 18, okay? And then go back to set, and the machine will cut off at 23. You can check that anytime during the batch production. As you can see, our machine shut off by the viscosity meter. So if you look at our actual, we're at 23. Our set was 23. We set it at 16 minutes, so we got right about to 15 minutes, so we were pretty close. So let's check the consistency of our product. That's perfect. So we're going to shut our refrigeration off. Allow our Granny Smith to flow. We just want to kind of fold this as we fill it. There we go. I like the Granny Smith. It's a nice kind of ectoplasm green color. A lot of ice when people eat it isn't displayed, but if you do display your ice, keep in mind the colors are just as important as the flavors.
A lot of customers are buying with their eyes.
Totally. So that's pretty much all we're going to get out, I'd say. So we're going to open up our door now. See if there's any extra. As you can see, we have a nice clean barrel. Cut down on our rinsing time. Allow us to get into the next flavor. And also, all the product, we don't have to scoop it out. It's all in our tub. We discharge it. So I'm actually going to fill this up. So we're going to fill up our rinse here. Once we fill up our window to our door, that's good for me. Shut our water off. We use a really high intensity gauge hose. We have a really strong nozzle because this thing's going to be pulled in and out many times between rinsing, between filling for ice. So we really use a high-end gauge hose for that. Turn our dasher on. Allow that to clean up for about 30 seconds or so, and then we're ready to go into our next production.